information. Our next speaker, next speaker for the evening will be Stefania. Bank cash is not growth cash. And this will be a 8 to 10? Or somewhere around there. So Stefania, bank cash is not growth cash. There, am I reading that?
Just that's it, that's all you need to write.
Oh.
Just that part.
Stefania.
There are lots of kinds of doctors. We all know that. To determine what the right doctor you need, you better know what your ailment is. Well, it's true about money. To figure out what the right kind of money is for your business, you better know what is the ailment that you're trying to address. Now, a lot of people have problems figuring out what doctor they should get. Is it a respiratory problem? Is it a muscle problem? Is it a bone problem? But it starts with the ailment. What's the problem? And that's how you decide what's the right treatment. Let's face it, if you get the wrong treatment, it could eradicate the problem or it could ameliorate it. So it's important to have the right solution. This is exactly the same issue with business. So when you're trying to select the right money, just like with the medical situation, you want to decide what the issue is first. In business, that means the business strategy always dictates. In order for the business strategy to dictate your financing strategy, you need to know three things. You need to know what business you're really in. Secondly, you need to know where you want to go with this business. Thirdly, you want to know how fast you want to move. Each one of those three elements, what business you're in, how fast you want to move, and where you want to end up, will influence the right kind of money. Wayne actually took advantage of bank debt to finance his company to get to $5 million. Things were going really, really well. He was awarded a $25 million contract for next year. The bank informed him they weren't going to increase his bank loan. Now, an awful lot of businesses, like Wayne, actually believe that it's the right thing to do, have a bank loan. The trouble is, they also believe that's the only thing they have to do. What about the other ailments? What about the other activities that their money might need to address? You see, bank debt works very, very well, so long as you're managing your current business. Bank money is perfect for working capital. You know exactly what the receivables are, you know exactly what the vendor requirements are, you know exactly the growth based on history. And that fits with a demand deposit, which is what the bank makes available. Unfortunately, that kind of predictability isn't true of growth. Growth, by definition, is unpredictable. That means there's a difference between the kind of money you need for maintenance of a company versus growth of a company. And the faster you grow, the more different is that gap. The actual difference between maintenance capital and growth capital is that maintenance capital focuses on the history and the collateral and can have a predictable installment payment. Growth capital needs to have flexibility in terms of its repayment to accommodate the uncertainty of the future. The one thing about the future is that it's a little faster or a little slower, but somehow different than how you project it. So that was the problem that Wayne experienced. And it's really important to recognize that that concept that bank debt is safe and everybody should only have bank debt is a little scary. I know more companies that have been forced into very bad situations by the terms of their bank debt. It's not the bank debt that's a problem. It's what happens if you don't meet the payment terms that's the problem. Then you go out of covenants, and when you go out of covenants, you end up with the bank having the opportunity to make life and death decisions for you. So the opportunity for having money to grow your business is to understand those three elements. What business are you in? Where do you want to end up? And how fast are you going? And then make sure you use the same logic that you would if you were identifying the right doctor for your ailment. Always make sure that your business strategy dictates your financing strategy. That'll ensure that you always pursue your best growth strategy with the right funding sources.
Thank you, Stefania, our Doctor of Business. Our next speaker for the evening will be Eddie, and his speech is 5 to 7 minute speech, titled, "What Should I Do?" Eddie.